Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bookcast. This is my platform for sharing short fiction and updates on life as a self-published author of romantic fiction that centers Black love and relationships. This is episode 91, and I am your host, D.L. White. I'm an Atlanta-based author of 14 novels and numerous fanfiction works, but I'm a reader first. So we usually begin with a book report, then we talk about writing and topics of the day. Speaking of, do you have a topic you would like me to cover on the Bookcast? Shout me out a holler. I'm always on Instagram or Twitter at author_DL White, or you can visit the show notes of this here episode at booksbydlwhite.com/bookcast/91. I welcome your comments and your questions, and I'll dedicate a part of the show to answering them. This week I did not receive any questions to answer. I'm trying to pop up a question box on Thursdays on my Instagram account and my stories, so follow me there if you're not already following me. If you ever have a burning question you want to ask me, something about one of my books, if you're wondering about a process, if you're seeking for terrible advice that only works for me that you might be able to rig to work for you, you want to know my thoughts on something in the bookish space, the author space, the reader space, hit me up. I am happy to ramble for 27 minutes on a question someone sent in. So today I'll talk about my July reads, what I've got in the hopper for advanced reader copies and random books that I picked up from the internets. I have some recommended reads and listens for you, and I'll give an update on the post-release season for The Pearl at Black Diamond. Are we ready? Let's go. Today is Saturday, July 20th. It is 9:23 a.m. I'm a little bit behind because I had to fight with my microphone and my headphones and do my test recording because it never works the same way twice. It is overcast and 72 in Atlanta. We've been getting much needed rain, and I don't really mind it. I've got my candle burning. Remember I told y'all last week I was going to go see my candle dealer, and just in time for all this rain, I got some lovely handmade wood wick candles. So it is indeed, move my microphone, it is indeed crackling in my ear. The mic is on, and I am ready to dig in. But first, please join me for some coffee. Welcome back. You know what? Part of when I get ready to record, much like when I get ready to read or write, I have to set the scene. You know what I'm saying? I need it to be a happy place. I need it to be good. I need it to be welcoming and comforting. I need all my creature comforts. I need a bag of Skittles. I am never without a bag of Skittles. I'm looking at my bag of Skittles right now. That's what I eat when I'm writing. That and popcorn, that's what I eat when I am reading. Also, that and popcorn are just something chewy. I love a chewy, a crunch. I'm not big on chocolate except for certain times. But I like to I need to set the scene, you know what I'm saying? So I got my candle burning, I got my coffee, I have cultivated my happy place. I got my Kindle is all charged, plus I got the Kindle app up on my iPad because when I listen to an audiobook on my iPad, I tie it into the Bluetooth on my Roku, and that kind of occupies my TV. Then I kind of sit back, plump up the pillows, grab a cozy, fuzzy blanket, make sure I have a full tumbler of ice cold water or some sort of beverage. And that's my little cocoon, my little happy place. And so now more than ever, backlog of how I built this podcast that I've saved to listen to. I watch a lot of documentaries. I've been getting into a few movies lately, and all of that is purposeful. That is my coping mechanism. I heard someone say when the pandemic was raging hard that when we were in a time of need, we sought out art, we sought out movies and books and films and music. And I definitely find solace and comfort in all of that, along the lines of trying to stay close to my books, piling up books to read, staying on top of my promotions and marketing is this urge I feel to create a safe space, a safe place to land, a happy place. And I'm feeling a lot like I was feeling in 2016 and in 2020, going absolutely mad over political happenings, my ulcer flaring up, just freewheeling through world in a ball of anxiety. I don't do meds. I don't smoke. I don't do gummies. I don't drink. So I am just raw dogging unprecedented times, you know? Like, I mean, it's me in these books. That's just, it's me in this Roku. It's me in this Kindle app. It's me and Tangy Kindle. Like, that's it. My only vice is the books. So yeah, I have like 26 books stacked up. I'm way ahead on my reading challenge. All I talk about is books and reviews and movies and podcasts and documentaries instead of what everyone else is talking about. And you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I cannot do nonstop news, politics, war. Look at this horrible thing people are doing 24/7. I don't know how y'all can do that. I can't take it in. I had to turn it off or I would lose my mind. And then what? I'm mindless and the world is still on fire and I need my mind for work purposes and also for writing. There's a thing I like to say, watching a dumpster burn does not put out the fire. So I find a way to turn it off and books is it. If you're one of those kinds of people, welcome to the club. Please get into my DMs. Let's talk about some books. What are you reading? What do you want to read? What sounds good? What doesn't sound good? Girl, what did you put down this week? Let me know. I am not the founder or the leader of this club, but we in here. So I don't know, like, I am not a person where I feel like people are watching me. I don't say nothing about nothing. And it's not that I don't care. It's that this is where I choose to be at that moment. Yes, it's privileged. I'm going to exercise it because I am not going to go crazy screaming into the void. I just feel like I'm in a place where I am one voice. I'm going to amplify. I'm going to concur with people who are saying what needs to be said much better in a much better fashion, but I'm not going to dedicate my accounts to screaming about how everything is awful. I can't do it. I can't do it. That said, let's hop over to the book report because I've been a little busy book-wise. I have read 117 books of my challenge to read 175 books this year. I'm 21 books ahead. Yeah. I'm not going to increase my challenge number, though, until I get to 150. I don't want to get too confident because I do have a book and a short to write before the end of the year. And I always say, you know, when I'm writing, my reading slows down, but it doesn't. It really doesn't because I read before I write and then I read after I write as dessert and a reward for writing. So I read, listen to books while I'm at work and on my way to work and on my way home from work and when I'm out getting gas and whatnot. I'm always reading. I always have a book going. I say I'm going to slow down, but I'm really not. And so I just really need to stop fooling myself. But I don't want to make the challenge for me. I don't want to make it too easy. So, you know, like it's supposed to be a joy. I'm going to raise the number again when I hit 150. And try to decide how I'm going to finish out the year. I think I'm probably going to hit close to 200. I'm relatively certain of that. It's July and I'm 21 books ahead. So I'm relatively certain I will hit 200 or more, but, you know, I don't want to be too overconfident. I have read 12 books so far in July. I actually thought it would be more, but I haven't been counting. I've just been back to back to back to back because the books have been so good. I have read in July so far. Of course, I've been deep in my Kendra Elliott and Melinda Lee bag. Echo Road by Kendra Elliott, Hour of Need by Melinda Lee, Bridged by Kendra Elliott. A lot of these are series, so I'm just going one after one after one. I've read, of course, The Darkest Child by Dolores Phillips, which is our Bookstagram read for July. It is as harrowing as you remember it. We've been having a really good time in our weekly chats about that book. This morning's questions just got me up out of the bed. I read Excess Baggage by Nicole Falls, then more Kendra and Melinda, Spiraled by Kendra Elliott, Targeted by Kendra Elliott, Walking on Her Grave by Melinda Lee. I read Sounds Like a Plan by Pamela Samuels Young and Dwayne Alexander. This book was really good. I really enjoyed it. I heard it has been optioned for film or TV or something like that. Really looking forward to it. It's very good. If you want something that's like, it's like, it's a detective novel. It's a duo. It's got some steam. I would not say it is spicy. It's very well done. I really enjoyed it. I listened to that on audio. Not a huge fan of the male narrator, but it wouldn't stop me from listening to another book if this were to, become a series. And then I read One Big Happy Family by Jamie Day. I had an audio arc of this. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was a thriller set in like a old, hotel that is on the brink of closing. The owner dies. Family comes in, to try to decide what to do with the hotel. People die, etc. and so on. Yeah, I know I sold it to you. And then I read A Merciful Silence by Kendra Elliott, which I think is the first book in the Mercy Kilpatrick series. She's an FBI agent dating the county sheriff. And then I read Love in Reverse by Chaslyn Hamilton. This was a new release. Really enjoyed this because I love me a second chance romance. So that was really good. I am currently reading A Merciful Fate, Mercy Kilpatrick number 5. I'm really just rounding out my Mercy Kilpatrick reading. So I have this one and then I have book number 6 and I think I'm all caught up on Mercy. I have a ton of books, to read. I have 11 that are just in Kindle Unlimited. Come Ride With Me, Platinum Riders by A.C. Arthur. I wanted to read this just because it features a black motorcycle dude. I have an Aubrey Penn book in here, Boss Up, Episode 1. I have The Stones We Cast by Chelsea Maria, The Fire Inside Her, a lesbian romance by Tuesday Harper. Then the Caramel Cove collection looked really good to me, so I picked up Smoked and Spiced by Casey Mills and Sweet Reasons by Bailey West. I'm going to knock both of those out pretty quickly, I'm sure. And then I have the Mercy Kilpatrick books that I might catch up on, the Connecticut Kings. Then I have some advanced reads that I need to get to in the rest of July and early August. The Perfect Sister by Stephanie DeCarolis. I have no idea what this book is about. It looked good. I just requested. I requested an arc. It pubbed July 16th, so I'm already way behind, but I'll give it a shot. Chances are I'll probably just go ahead and put that back. A Cup of Flour, A Pinch of Death, and Flour, A Pinch of Death by Valerie Burns, and A Dream in the Dark by Robert Justice, both published on Tuesday, July 23rd. I am trying to get both of those in, but here's the thing. I know they're both going to come out in audio. I have pre-ordered the audio for A Dream in the Dark. So I'm thinking that even though I have advanced reader copies of these, I'm probably going to wait for audio on those. Then I have Mother Like Daughter by Kimberly McCrate that publishes July 30th. In a League of Her Own by Kaya Alderson publishes August 6th. The Rich People Have Gone Away by Regina Porter that publishes August 6th. Melanated Reader told us about this one in one of her book haul lives. It sounded good. I snatched it up. And then The Kill List by Nadine Matheson. She is a British thriller author that publishes August 6th. So I've got a bunch of books I need to get read and reviewed between now and August 6th. And then I have some books that I picked up along the way. Innocent Intent by Casey Mills. It just looked really good. The Cost of Love's Jenkins and Sons Construction Series. That is book 6 in that series by my friend Sharon C. Cooper. I would love to actually get that read today because I am meeting with her tomorrow. So I definitely want to say, hey, I read your book and it was awesome. And then, of course, The Fire Inside Her by Tuesday Harper. She is a sapphic romance author. It was free. So I grabbed it and it looks kind of short. So I should be able to zip through it pretty quickly. Looking forward to that because I feel like I don't read enough black sapphic romance. I read a lot of Fiona Zed. I think I've read almost everything Fiona has published. Chensia Higgins is my girl. I feel like I just don't read enough of that. So, I'm gonna get into that. I have a couple of recommended listens for you. Reckon's True Story podcast is a brand new podcast hosted by Disha Filia and Kiese Lehman. The first episode was so good. Really, really good. Really enjoyed it. I am not an essay person, but the episode intrigued me enough to like pick up a few and like see what, the big deal is. Disha also hosts the Ursa Short Stories podcast. I'm not a short stories person, so I haven't gotten into it, but I can be influenced and persuaded. I really enjoyed episode 2 with Dr. Roxanne Gay. It was an excellent episode. She's just so like personable. I actually might give it a second listen because I was working while I was listening to it, so I know I missed a sentence here or there. I just really enjoy her. I don't enjoy her arguing with trolls on the internet, but I do enjoy Dr. Gay. And then Black Romance Has a History is a new podcast hosted by Steve Amadown and Katrina Jackson. Really good. Episode 3 is a conversation with Stephen Zacharias, the founder of Kensington Publishing, who also has the Defina line. Really good. I listened to that twice. Such a good episode. This episode is talking about the summer of Black romance, which is 94, when the most Black romances ever were published. So many of my favorites were published in 1994. The whole podcast is great, but episode 3 was a double listen. And then also a double listen is the Black Romance podcast is back, the season 3 premiere with Dr. Julie Moody Freeman. She has a co-host and I can't remember her name and I don't have time to look it up, but I'll put it in the show notes. Tia Williams is the season 3 premiere, and you guys know that I am a huge stan of Tia Williams. I love, love, love her work. She's talking about a love song for Ricky Wilde and how that book came to be. I loved that book. It was excellent. So listen to that episode. And while you're there, listen to my episode. It published March of 2023. I did pop up a couple of links to that. If you're looking for it, you can go to their website, the Black Romance Podcast, or my website, booksbydlwhite.com/praise. I think it's on the praise page. I'll have a list of my appearances and it should be listed there. My recommended reads this week, I'm going to be all self-promoting and tell you to join my Substack, subscribe to my Substack. It is substack.com/authordlwhite, I think, but you can find links on my links page at booksbydlwhite.com/link in bio. Also, join my newsletter. For a minute, they're going to mimic each other. I'm really just trying to reach more people, and Substack has so much more reach than like the 1,100 people that are on my newsletter. Sometimes I hear authors say, I just have a baby newsletter. I only have 8,000 people. And I'm like, I have been trying to get to 1,200 people for forever. So I don't know, like if you have a baby newsletter at 8,000 people, I don't know what I have, but that's where I'm at. I'm really trying to like build up my chops newsletter wise. I still hate writing a newsletter. I'm sorry to say it. That's why I do a podcast, so I can just talk it out. I'm really still trying to figure out what I'm sharing on my blog versus my newsletter versus my Substack, but Substack will likely have more of a Twitter feel for me than a newsletter feel. I have like a few thoughts that come up during the day that I feel like I can't really put anywhere else. Then on Fridays, I'm doing a little roundup of like everything that's been everywhere, and that is also going out to my newsletter people. What I'm not putting on my Substack is anything that's exclusive. So exclusive stuff, first announcements of books that are coming out, specials that are coming, anything exclusive is still going to come out to my newsletter first, and then I'll cross post that to my Substack once it's out, and then it'll hit my blog, I guess. I'm just literally just talking this out. So if you go to booksbydlwhite.com/link in bio, you'll get links to both of those. And if you're just looking for the past few newsletters, tap on the link to join, and then the landing page will have all 3 or 4 of the past one of them has an exclusive scene that only went out to the newsletter. So hop on that. All right then. Let's talk about the post-sales season for The Pearl. And I want to stress that having a new book out is why having a backlist is important to me anyway, because when people get a taste of your words and they want more, I love having 13 other books behind that one for them to run through and pick up. I've been in heavy promo mode really since May, but I'm running the numbers beginning June 1 because that's when I really started running promo on Black Diamond, on Beach Thing and Elysium, my summer beach romance books. So since June 1st, I have moved 292 copies across all sales platforms, including mine, bringing in over $500. So now y'all see why I could not be a full-time author that doesn't even pay my rent. That's since June 1. It is now June 20th. So we're looking at about 6 weeks of sales, and that's every book across all platforms, including mine. Sales on the Pearl are okay. Better than Elysium at this point, I'll tell you that. I'm at 105 copies sold and about 330 in sales just on that book. That's including my platform, plus all of the retail. Plus, I just saw that the book is available on Libby, Hoopla, so it should be available for your local library. If you are a library person, please request it, check it out, read it, return it. I need circulation history with your library. I do have some costs associated with publishing that book, like having the wrap cover created. I'm a little amazed when people don't go wild for them, but you know, that's me being vain a little bit, but I think they're very good. I did run a little ad over on TikTok on 2 posts. One got about 4,800 views and the other is at almost 10,000 views. I do believe some of my sales have come from TikTok, but not really enough to just start pouring money there. I'm just trying to keep popping those up so they stay in people's sites. If you see the ads, if you see the posts, like on them and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Marketing is hard work, you know? A lot of trial and error, and there are classes I could take, but ain't nobody got time or money for that. I'm seeing what works and I'm just keep pushing it until the algorithm changes and I have to do something else. So I know I have some sales coming up on the Potter Lake series. I know there's there's a $1 days sale where you can start a new series for $1. I can't remember when it starts and when it ends, but watch my website, my blog, my social media, my Substack. I am never quiet about my sales, so you will not miss them. Alrighty, done and dusted. Okay, that brings us to the end of today's show and the time that I must bid you adieu and warm up my coffee and get into a book. But first I have to, let's not pretend I don't have to edit this podcast and get up on my social media and all that kind of stuff. But thank you so much for joining me for today's chat. I truly, really do enjoy having you here. I also truly enjoy reading any comments, feedback you have at booksbydlwhite.com/bookcast/91. You can also drop your comments on my YouTube channel. I do cross-post these episodes to my YouTube. You'll also find show notes and links to all the things I talk about if they're relevant, and a transcript for today's show on my website. Please share the podcast if you enjoy this episode. And if you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give a girl a rating. I'd really appreciate it. Do not forget you can support this podcast with your book purchases at payhip.com/booksbydlwhite by spreading the good word, by joining the newsletter or the Substack. Links are on my website at booksbydlwhite.com/link in bio, or by throwing some coins in the hat at bookcast.buzzsprout.com. Thank you so much to my monthly supporters. Their gift covers my Buzzsprout subscription, so I really appreciate the support, and every little bit helps. The Bookcast is written, produced, and edited by me, DL White. Our theme music and any sound effects are provided by Pixabay. I will be back next week. Until then, please enjoy this weekend. Have a superlative week, and we'll chat again soon. Bye-bye.